So now tell me about your journey with conversational commerce. How did it become, when did it become, kind of mainstream thing? You were doing very well even without it, right? So
Yeah.
what drove you, towards the conversational commerce? What does it mean to you? And how did it evolve?
Well, it's fascinating, Srini. It's a great question. It evolves, right? We didn't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, conversational commerce," that we're gonna go drive that. It actually started with a phone call. It's kind of funny. 5 years, 6 years ago at this point, I guess. It was a Saturday afternoon. It was in the fall. I know it was the fall because I was standing outside a high school gymnasium waiting to pick up my kids. They
Sure.
had a basketball thing or something going on Saturday.
Hmm.
I get this phone call. And it's Chris McCann,
Hmm.
my boss, the CEO.
Yep.
Right?
CEO. Hmm.
He says to me, he goes, "How come I'm not on television talking to Watson in the woods?"
Okay.
I'm like, "What? Who is this? And what did you do it with Chris?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm sitting here, in between the football commercials, an IBM Watson commercial came up that Watson was talking to the North Face CEO, talking about a recommendation for a new jacket."
Hmm.
I go, "How come I'm not in the woods? We have a relationship with IBM. How come?" He said, "All right, Chris, I'll make a phone call Monday. Let's see what we can do."
Sure.
It was no more than 90 days. We got through our holiday. We had a test environment going in January. February, we had Valentine's Day. By the time we got to March, we were able to test our first generation of
Hmm.
being able to conduct commerce through a conversation. It wasn't quite a conversation, it was more of a Q&A session,
Sure.
but it was the beginning of something that we thought would be kind of interesting.
Hmm.
4 generations later, 4.5 generations later, 5 years later, you know, working with your team and Peter, we have something special. And this whole coined conversational commerce thing, it's kind of catchy. It's a
I
little bit
learned
of
it from you.
yeah, it's a little bit of marketing in there for sure. But the idea is how do you have a conversation?